Joseph Christopher Calpin, do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? Do you ever think about mentors and how mentoring is important to the Toastmasters community? Indeed, friends, in Toastmasters, we are constantly talking about getting a mentor, finding a mentor, being a mentor, complaining at your mentor. But mentorship, and as defined by Toastmasters, that person who has been gaining experience, who has a lot of experience, and is in good standing. Just a quick advertisement, pay your membership fee if you want to be a mentor. Good standing means putting in the money. This person comes alongside a new member, or someone who's looking for some help. They walk together over a period of maybe 6 months or even longer. It's a process of life-on-life training. It's a process of growing another member and using your life to help them. Now you might be asking yourself, Joe, why would you be talking about mentors and then mentoring and marriage as is per the speech title? The truth is, I didn't realize this, but looking back in my life, I needed a mentor for marriage. It's kind of crazy because frankly, in the process of getting down on one knee, Jack's not here, he won't beat me up. Getting down on one knee and proposing to this wonderful girl from West Virginia. All I could think about was, woo! Because I was exuberant and really dumb. Friends, do you know why every fairy tale that involves love ends with, and they lived happily ever after? And the couple, they ride off into the sunset. Have you ever thought about why does it end there? Because if you read the next chapter, it's, don't put your toothbrush there. That's where my toothbrush goes. Or, are you using the guest towels again? No one wants to read about that. And frankly, I had no idea of all these little details that go into being married. Now, all of it's not toothbrushes, and I do know that my toothbrush goes on the left side and is currently bright green, and Carolyn's goes on the right side, and that's not the point. At 24, though, I was so excited. And my church that I went to, the pastor had heard that Joseph Calpin, who is exuberant, but also dumb, is getting married, and this man needs help, desperately. The truth is, I am somebody who is very highly likely to get divorced. My family is nothing but divorces. My dad, before he married my mom, divorced. My mom, before she married my dad, divorced. My brother, divorced, and having trouble with his relationship. My sister, divorced twice. I am the perfect example of someone who is likely to fail. And this is exactly why my church stepped in and tried to find somebody to help guide me. And so in came my marriage mentors, Jeff and Melva Clark. And for a year before I got married, Carolyn and I would go down towards Xindian Tuesday nights and spend an hour with this couple. And for me, marriage mentoring, I thought, okay, they're going to tell me about, I don't know anything about being married. But they'll tell me about that stuff. And really, our first couple of sessions were more about understanding each other. As this couple started to open their lives, how did they meet? How did they grow together? What problems did they encounter? Like good mentors, they opened their lives to us. And in return, we needed to learn, especially I needed to learn, how to open my life to them. Because marriage is something really personal, right? Right. You don't usually go around, maybe you complain about your spouse, but you don't really talk deep to somebody about the inner workings of your marriage. But marriage mentoring requires that for you to grow. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to be open. And in those first couple of sessions, I'll never forget Jeff Clark, this big guy from the southern US with a nice little accent. He said, "Now, Joe, I'm going to tell you something. Before you get married, you got to be 1 before you're 2. Does anyone know what that means? I'm not actually quite sure myself. But I think, after years of reflecting on this, we talk about marriage as we have our better half. But the truth is, a strong marriage, as I've learned from the mentoring I received and just life, isn't about a half a person and a half a person coming to make a 1 person. It's about 1 full, complete person who understands themselves, coming into a relationship with another person who's also complete and making something greater than the 2 of them. And it sounds very smart. I made up none of those sentences. It's all from the mentors. But over that time in that year, as I learned about how to talk about finances, as I learned about, how to talk about the process of maybe raising kids if you want kids, or all these hard decisions. Over that year, I found myself growing closer to the goal of being able to say, I do. And to have a ridiculously huge grin. Oh my gosh, it's huge. I was looking at pictures this morning. And really, these 2 people, Jeff and Melva, they came alongside and they helped me to understand what marriage is like and to be a better husband than I could have ever been without them. They spent the time. And actually, what's kind of funny is, in the process of writing the speech and thinking about it, I had contacted them. And they said something that I think everyone as a mentor should be willing to say to a mentee. When I said thank you for spending all the time working on me, in an exuberant, woo, and dumb kid, they said, we're thankful that God could use us in your lives. We were blessed, and so now it is your turn to pour into the lives of others. And that's mentorship. Someone pours into you, you pour into someone else. It works in Toastmasters, it works in marriage, it works in life. Go be a mentor, go find a mentor, go grow a mentor. Toastmaster Leader.